So I've already done a dramatic boxing intro for my Southpaw review back in July, so here it is again in case you haven't seen it. Ow! Why did I even try this? What is up, everybody? Random Random Man here. My biggest of apologies for having this review up late, as I feel like I'm one of the last people to even talk about it. But with this late review, I get to do a more in-depth review that I haven't done in quite a while. The last two reviews were actually pretty quick and dirty. So, without further ado, here is my review for Creed, which stars Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, Tessa Thompson, and Phylicia Rashad, and is directed by Ryan Coogler. Now, the plot follows the illegitimate son of the champion boxer Apollo Creed, Adonis, aka Donnie, played by Michael B. Jordan, as he moves from LA to Philadelphia to try and make it big, just like his legendary father. So, while in Philly, he seeks the help of famed boxer Rocky Balboa, played by Sylvester Stallone, and soon the two team up to form a duo that hopefully dream of making it big. Like many film fans out there, I am a tremendous fan of the Rocky franchise. In fact, I rewatched the original movie before seeing Creed and still holds up. The movie is a bona fide classic, a masterpiece, and it's just one of the best sports movies ever made. The sequels, I think they're pretty fun movies, a bit cheesy but very enjoyable, all except for 5. And Rocky Balboa was pretty nice to see Stallone back in the ring, even though at the time he was 60 years old. Now with this movie, Creed, this follows, of course, a new person in the Rocky franchise, and it's pretty clever that the plot is going this way with it following Apollo Creed's son. So, how was it? Let's run down the whole thing. Now, I'm a huge fan of Coogler and Jordan's previous effort together, Fruitvale Station, which was one of my absolute favorite movies of 2013. And with these two back together with another collaboration, they have created such a dynamic character with Donnie. Michael B. Jordan was phenomenal in this movie. This is his best role to date, and I already gave him such high praise for being in Fruitvale Station because how much of an emotional and just personal actor he is. While playing the son of the legendary Apollo Creed, he certainly holds his own and is able to get down and dirty when he needs to, but also have a bit of charisma that is supposed to be attributed with characters like these. Of course, we have Rocky Balboa himself returning for this entry, which is technically the 7th Rocky film, and that is Sylvester Stallone. And everyone has been saying that this guy should get Oscar recognition because he didn't the first time around with the original Rocky, and I'm one of them as well. Stallone is simply just associated with this role so much that it's criminal for him to not be playing this role as long as he's around to do it, because he is just so ideal as his character. Like Jordan, he is likable, and for over the past, like 40 years, he is able to retain the ideal of Rocky throughout this whole entire franchise, and it is no different here. The only difference is he is much older and he has a little bit more quirks to deal with because he is aging. Tessa Thompson is simply outstanding as the love interest for Donnie, Bianca. This is a very relatable character because not only does she have hopes and dreams just like Donnie with his boxing, she really has them expressed all throughout the movie as well. She wants to be a singer-songwriter, although the drawback of her is that she has progressive hearing loss even though she loves music. And I related to that a little bit more because personally I'm hearing impaired myself. I've lost the majority of my hearing in my left ear and I have to use a bone-anchored hearing aid. So that slight angle they went with her character is very relatable to me and other people. We also have Phylicia Rashad as Creed's mother. Now, this character I feel was really well introduced in the beginning of the movie, as the movie begins with a bang, I think, and she holds her own throughout the rest of the film. She's seen sparingly throughout the rest of the movie, but she definitely leaves an impact on Donnie that will be shown throughout the rest of the movie. Overall, I just love this cast here, especially with the two leads that really bring it their all. The writing here is truly a labor of love. I loved how Coogler, who not only directed this movie but also wrote it, handled what could be seen with a modern take of the story, as it's focusing, of course, on Donnie instead of Rocky. Rocky, of course, does get some prominence in this movie, but this is really Donnie's story throughout, and it's just involving Rocky, because who else to turn to but the Italian Stallion for some guidance in order to train for making it big in the boxing realm. And with Coogler at the helm here, it really makes it a lot more relatable and very touching to be faithful to the original Rocky movie and the rest of the franchise with this updated take. And I really liked how some of the more bombastic moments truly felt big and vibrant, but also some of the more downplayed and very emotionally dramatic scenes felt truly hard-hitting right here. Then, of course, there are the boxing scenes in this movie, which are famous in all the other Rocky films. And whoa, talk about just stunning scenes. There are about 3 boxing scenes, and the second one, oh man, this was shot to look as if it was done in one take, and for the 3 or 4 minutes that it was going on, the entire match would not cut. It kept going and going and going. And with the acting and all the dialogue that was in here, it truly felt realistic to see. You see the nice camaraderie that Jordan has while in the ring, and Stallone just like hollering at him to get good advice while fighting his opponents, and just how everything is slickly edited, how grueling the punches all feel, and just how it just atmospherically looks as a film. Also, the excellent soundtrack really makes you feel invigorated to watch the movie. I was on the edge of my seat in every fight scene. It was just truly a sight to behold, and even the training montages that are accompanied with these sports movies also look very nicely done. With all the praise I'm giving this movie, I do have but one issue with the movie. You can say that it's a nitpick, but I still consider it an issue in regard. I think it borrows too much from the other movies, to say the least. Of course, the romance in the movie, while I thought was pretty enjoyable, yeah, you can tell that the filmmakers were trying to make another Rocky Adrian story, and of course, it's not the case. Also, with the villain that is being fought against in the third and final boxing scene, yeah, there's an attempt to try to humanize him, but he's essentially just like Mr. T's Clubber Lang in the third Rocky film, just a big loudmouth. So basically, a bunch of cliches from the other Rocky movies are at display here, but I can't really knock the movie too much for it because A, the formula still works 7 movies into the Rocky franchise, and 2, it's just, again, really respectful to what the Rocky movies stood for, especially with the original. And I just found this experience to be truly captivating throughout. My final thoughts on this movie are that the truly tremendous performances really held their own in regard to the rest of the series, especially with Jordan and Stallone's nice chemistry and their own roles. We have really vigorously shot boxing scenes that will exhilarate you inside to want to see what would happen next. The writing all around, with how the story progresses in its modern take of boxing, and with the dialogue, just truly makes the movie feel relatable and a crowd pleaser on its own. I love basically everything what this movie stood for, and I'm gonna say this, it's really up there with the original Rocky movie among the best in the franchise. I think it's better than the rest of the Rocky sequels, and it's just really knocking at the original's door in terms of quality. It is an excellent watch. It is one of my absolute favorite movies of the year, and I highly recommend it. My final verdict for Creed is 4.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of Creed, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.